If you are a student, you are probably broke. That is not an insult. It is a demographic fact. And yet every semester you are expected to pay for word processors, design software, research tools, transcription services, and coding platforms that collectively cost more than your textbooks. Well, not anymore. Because in 2026, there are free AI tools that do all of this better than the paid software you have been told you need. Today, I am breaking down 7 of them, all genuinely free, all genuinely useful, all designed to make your academic life dramatically easier. Let's count them down.
Number 1, Perplexity. This is a free AI research tool that does what Google should have done years ago. Instead of giving you a list of links to sift through, Perplexity reads the sources for you, synthesizes the information, and writes you a clear answer with numbered citations that link directly to the original articles. For students, this is a game changer. Let's say you are writing a paper on the effects of sleep deprivation on memory. You type that into Perplexity. It searches academic databases, news articles, and verified sources, then gives you a summary paragraph with citations. Each citation is a number you can click to see the exact source it came from. You can ask follow-up questions to go deeper. What studies support this? Are there conflicting findings? What methodologies were used? The free tier gives you unlimited standard searches and 5 pro searches per day, which use more powerful models and dig deeper into academic sources. For most research needs, the free tier is more than enough. Compare that to a subscription to an academic database, which can cost over $100 per year, and you can see why students are switching. One important note, Perplexity is not a replacement for reading the actual sources. It is a starting point that helps you find the right sources fast. Always click through. Read the original and cite it properly. But for finding those sources in the first place, nothing beats it.
Number 2, Notion. Notion is already free for students with a valid university email address through their education plan. But what makes it essential in 2026 is the built-in AI features that are now available on the free tier. Here is what you get: a workspace where you can create pages for each class, embed lecture notes, build databases to track assignments and deadlines, and create dashboards that show you exactly what is due this week. But the AI part is where it gets interesting. You can highlight any block of text and ask Notion AI to summarize it, turn it into bullet points, translate it, or generate a study guide from it. Paste in 3 pages of lecture notes and ask it to create a condensed 1-page review sheet. Done in seconds. The free education plan includes unlimited pages and blocks, which means you can store your entire 4-year academic career in one place without ever paying. The AI features give you a limited number of uses per month on the free tier, but those are enough for exam season if you use them strategically. Compare this to Evernote Premium at $8 a month, which gives you note storage without any AI capabilities, or to a separate task manager like Todoist Premium at $4 a month. Notion replaces both, adds AI on top, and costs you $0. For organization alone, it is worth it. For organization plus AI summarization, it is unbeatable.
Number 3, Julius AI. If you have ever stared at a spreadsheet of survey data and thought, I have no idea what any of this means, Julius AI is the tool for you. It lets you upload a data file, a CSV, an Excel sheet, or even a Google Sheet, and then chat with it in plain English. You ask questions like, what is the correlation between these 2 variables? Or create a bar chart of responses by age group. Or run a t-test comparing these 2 groups and tell me if the difference is significant. Julius does it. It generates the charts, runs the statistics, and explains the results in language you can actually understand. For students taking statistics, research methods, or any course that involves data analysis, this is revolutionary. Instead of fighting with SPSS or STATA, which cost between $100 and $300 per year for student licenses, and have interfaces that look like they were designed in 1995, you just talk to your data. The free tier lets you upload files and ask a generous number of questions per month. For a semester-long project, you will likely stay within the free limits. And the visualizations it produces are clean enough to drop directly into a presentation or paper. One caveat: always double-check the statistical results if they are going into a graded assignment. Julius is accurate most of the time, but like any AI tool, it can occasionally misinterpret your data structure. Verify, then trust. But for exploration, visualization, and getting unstuck when you do not know how to proceed, it is a lifesaver.
Number 4, Canva AI. You probably already know Canva. It is the free design tool that makes non-designers look like they know what they are doing. But in 2026, the AI features have gotten so good that Canva's free tier can replace Adobe Creative Cloud for almost everything a student needs. Here is what the free tier gives you. Magic design. You describe what you want, like a presentation about renewable energy for an environmental science class, and Canva generates multiple slide deck designs you can choose from and customize. Magic Write, which is basically a text generator built into every text box. Magic Eraser, which lets you remove objects or people from photos with a brush stroke. And the Template Library, which has thousands of free presentation, poster, infographic, and social media templates for students. The most common use case is presentations. Every class seems to require at least one per semester. Canva's presentation templates are genuinely better looking than PowerPoint's built-in themes, and the AI features help you generate content, suggest layouts, and resize designs instantly for different formats. Compare this to Adobe Creative Cloud, which costs about $60 per month or $600 per year with a student discount. For 99% of student design needs, Canva's free tier does the job. Posters for club events, infographics for research projects, slide decks for class presentations, social media graphics for campus organizations, all free, all professional looking, all done in minutes instead of hours. The one thing Canva cannot do well is advanced photo manipulation and vector illustration, which require Photoshop and Illustrator. But honestly, how often does a student need those? For everything else, Canva is the answer.
Number 5, Otter.ai. This one is for every student who has ever sat through a 90-minute lecture, frantically scribbling notes, only to realize later that half of what they wrote does not make sense. Otter solves this by transcribing lectures in real time. Here is how it works. You open the app on your phone or laptop at the start of class, hit record, and Otter transcribes everything the professor says as they say it. You get a live, scrolling transcript you can read along with. When the lecture is over, you have a complete, searchable text document of everything that was said. You can search for specific terms, highlight important sections, and even get an AI-generated summary of the key points. The free tier gives you 300 minutes of transcription per month, which covers about 6 to 8 lectures, depending on length. For most students, that is enough for a full course load if you use it strategically, saving it for the densest, most information-heavy lectures. Beyond lectures, Otter is incredible for group projects. Record your team meetings and get a transcript with speaker identification, so you know exactly who said what and who was assigned which task. No more he said, she said arguments about who was supposed to do the conclusion section. Compare this to professional transcription services, which charge around $1 per minute of audio. A single semester of lectures would cost hundreds of dollars. Otter gives you 300 minutes a month for free. The accuracy is not perfect, especially with heavy accents or technical jargon, but it is good enough that you will never go back to manual note-taking for dense lectures. Pair it with Notion AI to summarize the transcript into a study guide, and you have a workflow that would have been science fiction 5 years ago.
Number 6, DeepL. If you are taking a language class, studying abroad, or reading academic papers in a foreign language, you need a translation tool. And here is the truth. Google Translate is fine for quick casual lookups, but for anything that matters, DeepL is dramatically better. DeepL uses neural networks trained on vast amounts of professionally translated text, and the difference is immediately obvious. Google Translate gives you literal, word-for-word translations that often sound robotic or get idioms completely wrong. DeepL understands context, nuance, and natural phrasing. It translates the meaning, not just the words. For students, the most useful feature is document translation. You can upload a PDF, Word document, or PowerPoint presentation in one language and get the entire thing translated while preserving the formatting. The free tier lets you translate up to 3 documents per month, which is enough for most coursework. The free web version also supports over 32 languages with text translation, and the quality consistently outperforms Google Translate in independent tests. For academic text specifically, DeepL handles complex sentence structures and technical vocabulary far better. If you are a language learner, DeepL is also a fantastic study tool. Translate a passage, then compare it to your own attempt. The differences will teach you more about natural phrasing than any textbook, and unlike Google Translate, DeepL does not awkwardly mangle idioms. When in Rome, do as the Romans do actually comes out correctly in German, French, Spanish, and Japanese. There is a DeepL Pro subscription, but you do not need it. The free tier covers text translation, limited document translation, and the entire dictionary. For students, free DeepL is already better than any paid alternative.
Number 7, Cursor. We talked about Cursor in depth in our app building tutorial, but for students specifically, it deserves its own spot on this list because it is the single best way to learn programming without paying for bootcamp or a tutor. Cursor is an AI-powered code editor built on top of Visual Studio Code. The free tier gives you a generous number of AI interactions per month, and here's why it is transformative for students. You learn by doing, not by watching tutorials. Instead of passively following along with a video course, you open Cursor, describe what you want to build, and watch the AI generate the code. Then crucially, you read the code, you ask questions. Why did you use a for loop here? What does this function do? How would I modify this to add a new feature? Cursor explains everything in plain English for computer science students. This is like having a TA available 24 hours a day. Stuck on an assignment, describe the problem to Cursor and it will help you debug. Do not understand a concept, ask it to explain with an example. Want to go beyond the syllabus? Ask it to build a small project that demonstrates the concept you are learning. For non-CS students who need to take one required programming course, Cursor can be the difference between passing and failing. It will not write your entire assignment for you, and you should not use it that way. But it will explain concepts your professor glossed over, catch syntax errors you cannot find, and teach you the patterns that make code work. Compare this to a coding bootcamp, which costs $10,000 or more, or a private tutor at $50 to $100 per hour. Cursor's free tier gives you interactive, personalized coding help that adapts to exactly what you are stuck on. For learning, there is nothing better at any price point, and the fact that it is free is remarkable.
Let's add it up. Perplexity for research, saving over $100 a year. Notion for organization and AI summaries, saving $96 a year. Julius for data analysis, saving up to $300 a year. Canva for design, saving $600 a year. Otter for transcription, saving $120 a year. DeepL for translation, better than any paid alternative. And Cursor for learning to code. Replacing a $10,000 boot camp. That is over $1,200 in annual software costs replaced by free tools that are in most cases actually better than what they replace. Being a student is hard enough. Paying for software should not be the thing that breaks you. Save this video, share it with a classmate, and start using these tools today.
If you found this helpful, subscribe for weekly AItool reviews and tutorials. I test these tools so you do not have to, and I only recommend the ones that are genuinely worth your time. Drop a comment with your favorite free AI tool or one I should cover next, and check the description for links to every tool mentioned in this video. Thanks for watching and good luck this semester.